greatest supporter. She helps me out with a lot of different things that I can't do. For us men who think we could do it all, no, you need a woman in your life. And I'm so happy to know that my wife is passionate as much as I am with this project and how I see people to grow, even though they fall. I also have I have my Bush buddy here who's my coach, and he's going to tell me the things I did wrong and did right in this presentation. So, yes, tell me what I did right and did wrong. So, to start off with my story, without the grace of God in my life, I wouldn't be able to do or feel what I feel inside of me for other people. It took me a lot of time to figure out why I was at Stillwater. I came out to Stillwater 2001, right after 9/11. 9/11 drove me out from New York City, South Bronx, New York. That's where I'm from. I was raised and born there. That's my roots. I'm a Yankee fan.
Jot that down.
Don't put that in next time. Don't say that. I'm a true Yankee fan. I'm a Giants fan. And I live in Minnesota. And to start off my story, my story is, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, where I came from, the Bronx. My mom is from Cuba, and she came out here. She came out here when Batista was taking over from Castro, and it was hard for her to be here in this country, but here I am. She was able to produce me, and my growing up in South Bronx, New York City was in the 60s. I just finished having my 60th birthday. So I was born in 1961.
Woo!
Connected with Joan.
And, I went through a lot of stuff in New York, through gangs, drugs, the burning of the South Bronx. The Bronx was burning down. So I got to see all of that and see people, frustrated and angry. I grew up without a father, so I know how it feels to not have a father figure in your life. So my mom was everything and more. And that's why I couldn't connect with these men who don't have that father figure in their lives. I was a substance abuse abuser for about 6 years out of my lifetime, so I know how that feels, and going down and trying to get out of that. I also been through a lot of different things. I've been through a divorce. I've been through cancer. I've been through hip replacements. I've been through a lot in 60 years of my life, and I have a beautiful wife.
Very, very nice. Thank you.
So I was driven out of New York and was given an opportunity to come out to Minnesota for this correctional job. And I wasn't sure why I was doing it, but I did it anyway. I was afraid to leave what I know, to come to a new environment, to not know what's coming in front of me. But I'm from New York, you know what I'm saying? You can't stop this, you know what I'm saying? So I came out here and I started to learn what corrections is all about. And I got to meet a lot of people that I work with and I've worked with and have passed away and have lost their lives through this process of 19 years of my correction work in Minnesota. So I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but I'm just trying to give you a little insight about who I am. I'm a dedicated person. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And sometimes I think it's easy, but it's not. And so I thought this project was going to be easy, but it wasn't. And the way how this project stems from the 2018 murder that happened to Joseph Gam. And the way how my work environment was horrible. It was us against them more than before. Officers treating, the incarcerated people a bit worse. Opportunity was taken away from people that needed, because of one person, 1,600 other men lost the opportunity to learn a trade. That's not right. Administration didn't know what to do. It was the first time this happened in our state, in our department. And I was like, why don't you go somewhere else and ask them how they recovered from a murder? I don't know, they didn't listen to me. But it was horrible. It was not good working there. It was horrible. And so I was thinking to myself, actually I went to church that following week, and I got a sermon from my pastor, and something hit me. I'm gonna be emotional too a little bit, because to me it's emotional. I had received a call. And I was asking, what do you want me to do? What is it that you want me to do? And I was having this conversation. And so that sermon was really affecting me, and it hit me in a way that I never had felt all the times I've been to church. So I let it go. That following week, we went to Mexico, Cancun. Was it Cancun? Playa del Carmen, that's what it was. And we had a great time. But on our way back, in the airport, there was a store that said prison art. Prison art. I'm like, oh, prison art. Let's go over there and check it out. So I go over there, and I see incredible art from the incarcerated people in Mexico, which was tattooed on leather garments, and it had stuff on the back. Women had purses with nice stuff, and I'm like, wow. Why can't I use the art from the incarcerated in Stillwater to create a bridge, to create this, to bring some healing? Because we needed some healing, we needed a bridge, we needed to bring down that stigma about us against them. And so I went back to prison, and I started talking to a lot of the guys as I was doing my rounds, and they were like, yeah, you can't do that. They don't want to see my art. I said, dude, you got some good stuff. As you can see, these guys are incredible with their art and their poetry, and they're talented people who have done stuff that got them to the position that they're in today. So I was having those conversations with my wife, and we started to try to figure out how can we do this. And so I sent out a email to the commissioner, the warden, in my idea. And they said, it's going to cost you any money? I said, no, it's not going to cost you any money. Yeah, you're laughing, right? Yeah, it's going to cost me any money? No. We were able to get a couple of grants, and that's how we funded ourselves to do this work. One of the grants I received this year comes from St. Paul, from the office, from Tony Carter's office. And it's the, I can't.
Likely from Melvin Carter's office?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, my bad.
Not the same office.
Yeah, he's a man. From his office is the, oh my gosh, I can't even see this.
Cultural star.
The Cultural Star Grant. She said it for me. I told you, you need a woman not in your life. And so we kept on getting these grants, and the thing that, my thing is that I want to show these men that they have worth, that they still have worth, that they still can do something positive while they're incarcerated. I want to show them that they're capable of doing it, and they could change their lives while they're in prison. Even if they're going to do a life sentence, they still could do something positive with their lives. And I was trying to do that by showing the art out into the community, out here, for you folks to see their talents, to think about what can we do more to help these guys in prison. And that's the conversation. The conversation is, it's an uncomfortable conversation to talk about incarceration, because people have been hurt. But 90% of these people come back out into the society. And if you don't help them while they're in prison, and if you don't help them when they're out here, they're going to continue to do crime. So, my thing is trying to create a bridge between the prison and the community on the outside. Other ways that I've done that is by creating cultural events, which I was able to do one with Melvin Carter, 2019. I was able to have John Harrington, Keith Ellison, and Snell, and everybody here, my warden here. And I was doing the first Black History Month that I ever did, and it was not easy. I was baffled, but I was able to get the emails out and do all the preparation inside prison, outside of prison, and that's what I've been doing ever since then. So I've been doing that. I've been also doing sitting down with incarcerated men and having conversations about life, about their dreams, about their crime, about what could they do different, about redemption. We did that for 3 years until COVID hit. And the course was created by an incarcerated person who's doing life, and he's amazing. These guys are so smart. They have a lot of ability to do the right thing, and they still, like I said, they still can, and I believe it. And I could see it in their eyes, I could see it in their actions. But when you don't have nothing, or no one giving you anything, you're gonna keep doing what you're doing, what you know to do. You'll get bad behaviors. And so, I'm rambling over here. This is like my first or second one, you know what I'm saying? And my thing is, I'm really passionate about seeing people grow. I grew. I was not the same person when I first started 19 years ago. I was like, when the tone rang, I was ready to run and put some hands on people. You know what I'm saying? But as I got older, got smarter, I used my words, and my actions speak louder than words. So when you show people that you care, it's because of your actions. You could say you care, but if you show actions, that's going to show people that you're real. And they didn't believe that. So I had to do all these different things in order to try to bring the attention to the Stillwater, the attention to the incarcerated people, try to create an attention to the people I work with, to see how I'm doing this, to see that it's possible for us to not be buddies, but we could be coaches, we could be mentors to these people, we could show them a different way. I was speaking to a lieutenant one time, and I told him, we're public servants. He says, no, we're not. I said, you are a public servant. And our job is to try to show these people something different. It's not just, macing people and putting them on a board or, giving them discipline for bad behavior, but it's also talking about why you did the bad behavior, how you did it, how can you think about it differently. And who's this?
It's my meeting, so
okay. So I just am passionate about my work. I'm passionate about seeing transformation happen in the prison system in Minnesota. By all the actions that I've done, I applied for a Bush Fellowship, and today I'm a Bush Fellow to 2021. But it's just a title. I'm happy. I have an opportunity to learn more and to try to strive and be in front of people like you. Today, if I was to be a regular guard, I would be at a post. I wouldn't be able to be over here telling you a story. So I am proud of the stuff that I've done. I'll tell you this much too. I don't have much education. I have some college. I don't have no letters in front of my name, but I have a lot of heart. And so, by having Bush, it's given me the opportunity to get some schooling, to get some insight about what I'm trying to do, to let people know about incarceration, to talk about their families, to talk about the communities, to talk about the people who are affected by it, the people who are incarcerated, people who work there every day, who get assaulted and pills and shit thrown on them. You don't see that. You don't hear it in the news. So I'm out here. I was talking to one of the guys. He was like, you got to choose between guarding and advocating for these people. I'm like, why can I not do both? I was like, God, why he's telling me that for? And I just got to, I'll always run with that. Why can I not do both? Why can I not be the correction officer and be that person to try to uplift someone? We all have that opportunity to do that. In your positions, in your counties, you have the opportunity to do that. I'm just a little guy over here. But together, we could create miracles if everybody's on the same page. So, one of the things that I'm looking at the time. One of the things that for me is confirmation is when you show me that you're changing. You show me something. Show me something. I don't believe you. Show it to me. Or write it on paper. Tell me something. Show it to me. So I was able to, my wife and I were able to get a lady who does documentaries, and she's awesome. She was able to get into Stillwater before COVID really hit and the doors shut, and do some B-rolls and interview some people, and we did a little documentary for about 30 minutes. And I'm excited about this. It's my first time doing this. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm from the South Bronx, out here doing this stuff. I'm 60 years old. and I'm still doing something. I'm not, and I retired. I just retired. I'm not a correctional officer. I am a retired correctional officer. 19 and a half years. Because of Bush, I made that transition to leave the guard uniform and get into the role that I'm trying to create for myself. And so we were able to get some film and get some footage from people in the prison to get Paul Schnell's words. Paul Schnell is awesome. I love that man. He's doing a hard job. I wouldn't want to be doing that work, but it's like we sit down and have conversations, and we're at it, and we're on the same page, and we're talking about it. I'm like, well, make it happen. Policies, money. I'm hitting you right now, and I'm gonna touch you somewhere. Policy, stopping everything. Oh, you can't do that because it's not part of policy. But you have to be the change that you want to see. You do. You gotta change policies. You gotta revisit your policies and how everything works. You have to listen to the people who work for you. People have ideas. Just because people are in big positions doesn't mean that you know everything. The janitor might have that answer for you, and just because he's a janitor, and his position is a janitor, you don't want to listen to him. I listen to these guys. They tell me their stories. They tell me their dreams. They tell me what they want to do. And I said, you still could do it. So, I don't know if my wife wants to say something, but we have a nice little video. If you're interested in seeing it,